My hair is a mess, but whatever. Okay. Um. So I'm listening to Adirandi, Telugu dubbed. Um. Yeah. See how short it is now? Like it was longer before, and it's much thinner than it was before because of the poisoning. It's not even age. Because if it's age, then I should have gray hair by now, and I don't. And I'm not saying that to show off or anything, because hello, I'm not in a stage of my life to show off. But the thinning part wasn't due to age, it was due to poisoning. Yeah. Anyways, wow, I do that, and then the texture changes. Okay. Some as I mentioned, I was listening to Adirindi, Telugu dub. Yeah, I think I was. Um, and I have to tell you guys the movies that I've added. I didn't add any ours today. I spent an hour trying to figure out how to do a polygon on Google Maps and Google Earth. But the thing is, what I found with I'm not trying to promote Chromebook or anything. Basically, my laptop, like a normal HP notebook, it broke. They broke it when I was sleeping, when I was at a house. Guess whose? Jazz's. That's where my phone broke as well, and I think that's when all the Suniums started, like to put all the Suniums at once when I was sleeping. So whatever. Clearly, he has not helpful to my life. But anyways, maybe they made me say this because he has a problem whenever I stay awake for more than 24 hours because he thinks he wouldn't have finished a degree or got into university if his parents were watching us, and that he wouldn't have like a job that pays more than minimum wage. That's not my problem. I don't care. Hashtag get out. Quite literally. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Buzz movies, stuff like. I spent an hour trying to create a polygon over Kattagaram, Kattatur North. Hour or more trying to do that. Okay. But the thing is, I realized I think the thing is on Chromebook, it's very limited the functionality for several apps, and one of them is Google. Like I had to download it from an app store because that's how Google like Chromebook works. I don't know. Some people might be comfortable with it, each to their own. It's just that I prefer notebooks, and I just bought a Chromebook because it was cheap, not because of functionality, right? But like, oh my god. Oh, Jazz thinks he's gonna die if I have a phone or a laptop. That's very funny. Say that he is the one who shouldn't have a phone or a laptop. He shouldn't be messing with my tech. Like, who is he to do that? Him. Anyways, I really don't care. Because I got into a situation because of him. He's one of the reasons. There's so many people involved. So many involved. Okay, which ones did I write down? Okay, I added the link for Manvabiga Madhavan. I added the link where they are the one with the audio, basically. And then Greatest of All Time, Malayalam dubbed, I think, is already on there. And then I added Pokari Hindustani dubbed. I added Mr. Hari Krishna, that is the Telugu dubbed version of Vishnu Appa's entry in the movie. And then I added Tulli in the column. I think I'm not able to hear Appa's voice clearly. Sorry, Appa's entry. Okay, I'm not able to hear. Okay, I'm not able to hear. Okay, I'm not able to hear Appa's voice clearly. Sorry, Appa's entry. Okay, I'm not able to hear. Okay, I'm not able to hear Appa's voice clearly. Sorry, Appa's entry. Okay, I'm not able to hear. Okay, I'm not able to hear Appa's voice clearly. Sorry, Appa's entry. Okay, I'm not able to hear um, Appa's voice and I think he sang Tuk Tuk with Unikrishnan, right? I mean, it says the singers and then Unikrishnan, Vijay, and someone else. But I don't know. I could barely hear. I was trying to hear it. So I think Appa sang songs in that movie. I'm not sure. Abhizar made us Spiritual Warriors. You can double check. Yeah, I added it. And then I added Medsa. They took, is the one, there was one on Z Tamil or Z Movies or whatever. Medsa, did they take it down? If so, why? I would like to know what terrorist was involved in taking that down. Because I know there were terrorists and pimps involved in taking that down. Meba works so hard to make sure everyone dead watches the movies for free. Next is Bhagavati. And then I added Bhagavati. And then I just added Vasanta Vasal. So this is very loud. Because if it's too loud, I'm not sure if you can hear it, and sometimes if you can hear it, some people aren't able to watch Appa's content, right? Oh, animals. I started an animal list. Finally. I do genuinely want to add all the animals like in the world. And honestly, I would if they could just, just mind their own business and stop possessing me and everything. But clearly, they have a problem with that. Anyways, okay, so the animal list. Okay. So tigers. At least we have the entire list of tigers that we need to save. Bengal tigers, and a scientific name for Bengal tigers is Panthera tigris. I might not be, it's nomenclature. I might not be pronouncing these right, guys. I haven't studied science in 10 years. It's been a long time. And I have a huge problem with anyone that messes with my education, because this is the stuff I was studying. It was part of the courses, biology. And then like not specifically like tigers and everything, but like or like rabbits, but like how my knee is itchy. They're trying to break my nail. Okay, but in general, nomenclature and phylums and like the classification of animals. I remember studying a lot of part. So it's been way too long. I've been out of school way too long. Malayan tiger, and it's called Panthera tigris jacksoni, and a Siberian tiger is also known as a moor tiger, Panthera tigris altaica. And then Indo-Chinese tiger, Panthera tigris corbetti. South China tiger, Panthera tigris amoyanensis. Sumatran tiger, Panthera tigris Sumatra. I don't know why I'm pronouncing it Indian way, but like Sumatra, I don't know. And then Javan tiger, I found it interesting that they might still exist. They just don't have proof of it, obviously. They're actually still, for the very brief things that I've read on the internet. Oh, wait, I had posted it. They are still searching for them, just in case, which is cool. And I personally, Appa knows this, I want to recreate all the animals that have ever existed on Earth and on any other planet before again. I do. And I know it's possible because using, I don't know if someone's there listening. Sometimes they do that and I'm very unaware of it, and they take videos and photos of me and they skew the perception up so much. Shows how pimpy they are. Anyways, what was I saying? Mind blank. I was talking about Javan tigers. Okay, I want to create all the species that have ever existed, but the way that they were actually supposed to be and the way they were in the beginning, completely integrated in society in the way they want to be. And yeah, I know it's possible because they created monsters um, using my brain. They created robots using my brain that have souls. So I can do it. Thank you very much. Anyway, next is rabbits. So I want to recreate the dragon tiger. And I know some people might say it's unethical, it is unnatural, but I don't believe it's unnatural. Because it's a soul. If the soul is in that like baby, it's real, right? And I think the more they fucking stare. What is that about? I know it's a pimpy stare, but it's also to make me feel awkward and to think I'm weird. And hello, I know I'm not. And even if I'm weird, what is it to you? Like, the fact that they think it's weird, trying to make me feel like I'm weird, is weird itself. Shelby killed my kids saying they were weird. Like, they wanted to talk to me in high school or school because that pimp went to school with me for some reason. So Hana's doing, so that I can get raped at school, basically. Trigger warning, because of her powers and everything. But yeah, okay, let me continue this first. She killed them because they wanted to talk to me, and I couldn't see good people because I was eating poison, not food, right? So I couldn't see them. And she went and killed them for no reason because she's a friggin' psychopath and she's a serial killer. Once again, good people aren't psychopaths. I definitely believe they're not psychopaths. They're just babies that have too much trauma that haven't been healed in a healthy way. That hasn't been. It's too much. They need time. They need to regroup, and that's all it is. And it just takes on different forms sometimes, and that's okay. That is all it is. They're not crazy. Right? I mean, crazy means they're not psychopaths. Means that they're not bombing places. They meant, okay, some evil, I don't know how bad people go and become doctors sometimes. Sometimes they make excuses on purpose, knowing that they're not good. That's the thing. They know that being a serial killer and a serial rapist is not something that is like comes from trauma. It's who they are, right? In general, with or without a mental illness. They know that, and then they say, oh no, it's not their fault. Let's go to rabbits. You guys saved a lot of rabbits for meat farms. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. The rabbits love you very, very much for that. You already know that, and you're like bawling your eyes out because you thought it was me being eaten or being tried to being killed. But you're so sweet. Thank you. Anyways, rabbits, subspecies, population. Okay, I thought I was trying to figure out the nomenclature for them, but I'm like, several of them on Google seem like they had the same nomenclature, even if they were different breeds, and I didn't get that. So I just started writing the breeds. So Alaskan hare, also known as the tundra hare. It says the scientific name is Lopus otis. I'm sorry, scientists, science grads, anyone interested in science. I just made it sound like hocus pocus. I hope you don't mind me having fun with nomenclature. Anyway. Sorry. Yes, I'm laughing at my own joke. Anyways, all text rabbit is text. Sounds like hocus pocus. Sorry. American rabbit, and then American chinchilla rabbit, and American fuzzy lop. Honestly, I would have wrote every single one. I just didn't have the time, energy, and I haven't been healed enough, and I'm way too possessed in order to do anything. I have 5 minutes to blabber, 10 minutes, and then I post, and then I have to stay alive. I have a plan. I just hope no bus driver comes and starts yelling at me for no reason when I'm getting up. So annoying. I'm trying to live here. If you're not gonna help, just don't. I'm getting up. I just noticed, like, I was on my phone reading the book. I didn't notice we entered the transit terminal, right? And then I see the shelters and everything, like the terminal bus shelters, and I'm getting up, and he's like, "Get off! You're dumb, man." Like, the thing is, they know I'm gonna start yelling because you guys have seen my reactions recently, and I'm very, very mad. And I think they already knew that. They're psychotic, I'm telling you. They start doing stuff that they think I'm gonna do. Tam Tam has, like, the second one, her second parallel. She does have a mental illness, but I would consider her psychotic, definitely. There are several mental illnesses that haven't been discovered by the scientific community, and she has one of those. I think you guys already know Abhi's Army Dash Virtual Warriors. We can name it what it is. I think it's not even obsessive. It is. She does have OCD before. She did. And honestly, a good person can have OCD too. But it's what she's doing with that OCD and what it actually has become. She's actually psychotic. You know those movies that we see? I mean, I haven't watched any of them, but I've seen, trailers and everything. Where, like, long back, way back before I knew anything was Sunium, there, when you're like, two people would be friends or something, right? Me and the second Tam Tam, the one from Africa, we ain't friends. We haven't ever, directly had a conversation before. I don't even know how she looks like. I just know she's African and she's plump, like, and she's short and she has extensions, and I know what type of nose she has. She has an accent. She's a pimp and a terrorist. Anyways, that's all I know about her. And so the thing is, she is okay. There's this. You know how, like, if you're two friends, right? Someone becomes extremely obsessive. She really doesn't want me to say this, but I think I have to, because it's caused a lot of issues for everybody. The multiverse, it has caused a lot of issues, and I think, and I'm not saying this to stigmatize mental illness. I'm saying what happens when somebody bad has a mental illness who's already innately evil, and what outcome it can have if we let them loose in the name of mental illness. When we know that they have committed a crime, fully aware that they have committed a crime in ill intent and not for the greater good of society, right? But yeah. And so when you become very obsessive about a person, right? She's obsessed with me in a very unhealthy way. She's psychotic. She is not even borderline psychotic. She is psychotic. And I'm not saying this to hate on Tamanna. I mean, I'm talking about a parallel right now. Because I think she wants Tam Tam. I call the second one Tam Tam because she wants me to create issues with Tamanna. But I'm talking about Tam Tam right now. I've already said my views on her. Okay, and I'm not going to try to create more drama, because that's not what I am creating this video for. I mean, with her, right? This is about her parallel. That is very annoying. But I'm talking about her mental illness because Papa's so funny. When he snaps at the doctor after he wins the award, humanitarian award. And I'm really happy. Okay. I swear they make my cheeks bigger every day. It's very annoying. I don't know what the man was. I don't know, man. Whichever thought. I have 5 more minutes left. And 4 minutes. And you know how you see, like, if they're like friends and everything, they pretend to be exactly like them. They start wearing the clothes, like their body language changes. She's made everybody here change their body language. Bless me. I sneezed and I farted. So if you heard that, great. My God. Anyways, no, you know what they did? They poisoned me. They put poison in me to have those bottom part indigestions. Yeah. It's very disturbing. There's something wrong with them. Anyways. My body's not supposed to do that, is my point. It's okay if somebody, if it happens, if it's somebody else, because it's Homo sapiens sapiens, it happens when, you have certain indigestion issues and everything, but I'm not supposed to. Once again, my body is something that functions as a different subspecies. And they never, had any indigestion, like they never burped. That didn't happen, from the bottom part. I don't have earwax. I'm not supposed to have earwax. Okay, and so she's made everybody change their body language to make it seem like mine or Shabir's. Like, you ain't Shabir. Shabir's too cool for you. Not for the good people. Shabir's all our babies. He's a baby. Yeah. But she's psychotic. And they haven't realized what she's doing yet. It's very obvious to Abby's army and like Stash Virtual Warriors, but it's not obvious to them. They've done some swinging or whatever, some planning so that they don't get what she's doing. The hair flipping, the putting my leg above, like, the body language stuff. Like, yo, she's trying to make you psychotic too. I mean, they're already psychotic, but she's trying to give them more mental health issues, which they don't realize yet. And when they do, I'll be safe and fine. So that's great, because, yeah. Anything else I want to say? I have 1.5 minutes left. I don't know. I have a plan tonight to stay alive. Hopefully it happens. And I threw the nail polish in the garbage because they poisoned it. And I threw my toothbrush and my toothpaste in the garbage because they poisoned that too. I will not like to be blamed for not talking to such people like these. I cannot be talking to people that want to poison me. I think that's fair. And I'm in this situation, this homeless situation, Um, I don't judge myself for it at all because I know my worth. And this doesn't determine my worth. It just shows what type of people, what type of souls these are. To put somebody in this situation, to hurt somebody so much, to brainwash somebody so much, to hurt somebody so much, to push someone into such an extreme forms of abuse. My grammar ain't perfect right now. That's fine, yo. I have excuses. um, to do that to somebody because they're famous. That was their reason. Because I was, not because, it's not Appa's fault, because I was, why is it staring? It's one of the pimps whose photo's up. Anyways, there's that. He always only leaves when I leave. Whether it's earlier or later. It is very creepy. Please note that down at my army, warriors. Abby's Army Dash Virtual Warriors. I was saying something. And to push me into this situation, oh, I didn't get all my money for this month. I don't know if that's a glitch in the system or if somebody's actually bribed somebody, like Amir. He's the one who handles that, bribing stuff to make sure I don't have enough money. He's just funny. It's just funny. He can't get away with it because everybody knows. Which I have to check the money situation and because I finally see myself, I only recently saw myself as a social media influencer, and because I'm doing something impactful. Excuse me, burped. Because everyone wanted to see me on the big screens as an actress. You're so sweet. And now you guys want me to do everything, right? Because you've seen my potential, which is just heartwarming. And you guys always wait to see my posts and everything. And you guys saw me as beautiful, even though I looked different. Like before, like when I was 18, you didn't see faces like mine as much on TV or in movies. Even then, with my dark skin, with my chubbiness, with my unconventional features, you saw me as beautiful, and you guys still do, and they have a huge issue with that, obviously. And yeah, there's that. The fact that I was going to go to India, the actress part, the directing part, that I was going to do everything with Appa, that I was going to live in the house. They have a problem with me living in Appa's house because it's big. But I keep saying Appa's house. I have to remind myself it's my house as well. It's very difficult for me to do that. I don't know if it's the memory loss because I didn't know I was his daughter for so long, or if it's, I don't know. They have a problem with people treating me as famous, and I'm like, you know. So it's this and several more issues now. Oh my god. Issue beyond issue. And because of, you know, what I've realized is that I have some parts of my area, some parts of my life where it's very successful. I just need to bring other parts of my life. What I did to those, my friends say this, what I did to those parts of my life, I have to do to the parts of my life that I need to bring up. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go. And I know how to do that. Anyways, I'm gonna go. And you wanna come? Thank you.